up and holding his arms up, and he says, he said, he shot me, and blood was running down.
A fight over a fence line boils over, sending one neighbor to the hospital with gunshot wounds and the other to jail, charged with attempted murder. Good evening, everyone. 74-year-old Patrick Ford is locked up in the Boone County jail and charged with shooting his neighbor Ricky Borchers 3 times.
That shooting happened in a quiet suburban neighborhood off Camp Ernst Road. Local 12's Joe Webb is live in Boone County with more on a long-standing dispute that led to the shooting. Joe.
Well, Curtis, this is a strange story, and this is just the latest chapter in this ongoing strange story. Patrick Ford has some serious issues about his property's boundaries, and last night he apparently thought Ricky Borchers crossed the line.
The front side has been done. He got to about where the end of the shed is.
Steve Thomas showed us where his neighbor Ricky Borchers was weed eating last night when Thomas took his dog outside.
I went back into the house and sat down. I barely got sat down, and Rick was running up and holding his arms up, and he says, he said, he shot me, and blood was running down.
His wife called 911, and within minutes, Boone County deputies had arrested Borchers' other neighbor, Patrick Ford, and charged him with attempted murder. Deputies say Ford shot Borchers in the hand, torso, and leg while he was weed eating along the fence that separates their yards.
It's the suspect's shrub on his side, but it was growing through. So he, from what we understand, was just cleaning up his side of the fence, and perhaps that's what set Mr. Ford off.
The property line, particularly the location of the fence, is a hot button with Patrick Ford, and it's nothing new.
This all started probably 10 or 12 years ago with the people that lived here before them.
What is new is gunfire in a neighborhood with lots of children. Records show Ford has complained to deputies about Borchers in the past and that the dispute goes back 6 years or more. In court this morning, Patrick Ford argued for a reasonable bond.
I'm not guilty, but I've lived in northern Kentucky all my life. I was born at St. Elizabeth at 20th and Eastern, not a flight risk.
Now, the judge said that she was not worried about Patrick Ford taking off, but was more worried about public safety in Boone County. She ordered him held on a $500,000 cash bond, ordered him to stay away from the victim and surrender any weapons. Curtis?
Joe Webb in Boone County for us tonight. Joe, thank you. Patrick Ford is also charged with tampering with evidence. Deputies say he hid the gun in the house after the shooting. They had to get a search warrant to recover it.